Greetings, heroes. How are you doing? Coach Rick here with another edition of Book Club. We are currently reading The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. Listen, if you are a small business owner, if you are an independent contractor, 1099, if you're in sales, or if you just have a side hustle, you need this book right here. It is fantastic. It starts out with sort of the overview of what's wrong in American small business, and then it gets really detailed at the end. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, if you've been watching the rest of the series, we started with the E-Myth and American small business, and basically talking about why small businesses fail. And then last week we talked about essentially franchising and how franchising created this turnkey revolution. So now we're really going to get into the nitty-gritty, and that is building a small business that works. So jumping in, Michael Gerber initially talks about innovation, and he says the difference between creativity and innovation is the difference between thinking about getting things done in the world and actually getting them done. So I want you to think about what is standing in the way of your customer getting what they want. And this is hard because most of us look at our work. Let me move this out of the way here so you can see the quote. Most of us look at our product or our service from our own point of view. So you really have to step outside of yourself and even ask your customers, what are the roadblocks? What's making it not as easy as it could be? And then in everything you do, every process that you have, you continually need to be asking yourself, what's the best way to do this? How should I be doing this? And the big one is that it's a continual process. So what worked for you, 5 years ago might not work anymore. There was a time when banner ads and just displaying your message was enough, and you could pay money and you paid for impressions. And now anybody who does digital media knows that paying for impressions is a waste of money. You pay for click-throughs. So things change. It's a continual process. Michael Gerber gives a couple really interesting examples in retail up here. So the first one is, and he's talking about basically A/B testing. In some companies that they worked with, they trialed the difference in sales between wearing a blue suit and a brown suit, both immaculately groomed, well pressed, just changing the color. And they found out sales were much better, noticeably better, if the salespeople just wore a blue suit. That's silly, or it seems like it, but hey, if it's going to make you more money, go invest in blue suits, right? And then the other one, we've all done this. Anytime you walk into a store, a salesperson comes up to you, says, "Hi, may I help you?" What's the first thing that comes out of your mouth? "No, I'm just looking," right? You're not just looking, you're there to buy something. But you don't want to be dragged around by the salesperson. You want to have a chance to get your bearings. So one of the things that he and his advisory services did was just change the salespeople from saying, "May I help you?" They got their metrics for 3 weeks or so and just got a baseline of, okay, this is what our sales are like. And then they changed their salespeople saying something different like, "Welcome, have you been here before?" And then if yes, then they take them down a certain path of, "Oh, well, then you must be a member of our savings club." If no, well, "Oh, you should join our savings club." And this could be any question. It could be, "Can I show you our specials?" It could be, "What are you looking for today?" Anything other than "May I help you?" just to change things. And in their testing, they found that sales increased between 10 and 16% just by changing one question. That's amazing. So let's think about your business. This is called quantification. Do you know what your business numbers are? I can tell you, based on all of the coaching that we do in the Morning Hero, most people absolutely do not. And if you don't know what your business numbers are, you cannot A/B testing. That's what we call it when you switch one thing, one minute little thing, and see if it works better, worse, or the same. So these are some numbers that you should be tracking. Number of customers or clients, whether you're service or product oriented, per time period. So that might be customers per hour, or Starbucks, it was customers per half hour. Could be per day, per week, per month, whatever makes sense for you. How many dollars those customers or clients are spending per visit, and then also lifetime is really good to know. I remember a story of I think it was Macy's. They tracked not just the dollars per transaction, but how much a customer spent in a lifetime, and realized, man, If they pissed off a single customer, they were giving up tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars in future business. What is the conversion rate? Meaning, how many of your potential customers are actually turning into paying customers? And what are your prospecting numbers? So whether you're dialing, whether you're sending out mailing, you should know, and I know for my numbers, for example, I know if I dial 100 people, about 10 people are going to pick up the phone, about 3 people are actually going to have a conversation with me, and 1 person is going to become a client of mine, and I will make money off them. That's powerful because I'm able to now work backward, look at my average revenue, and then I can figure out every time I dial the phone, on average, splitting it up, I'm making, I think it's something like $82 per dial. Whether the person answers, whether I get a busy signal, bad number, man, that makes it much easier to prospect when you know your numbers. And then if you're paying for advertising, you absolutely need to know where those advertising numbers are taking you. Here's a really quick example of where this became very apparent. When I was working in Mexico for Atiza, I inherited the luxury home division, and the sales team was very proud because they were very busy. They had created the marketing team had created these ads for them, and they were super busy. Well, I looked at the ads, and they're for luxury homes, but they show 20-year-olds sipping wine or cuddling on in front of a fireplace, showing off the girl's diamond ring. And I asked people, what do you think these are ads for? And people said, oh, it's a jeweler or it's a winery. Well, I was able to track those ads backward and find out we were advertising this series of ads on Facebook, spending 20,000 ad dollars a month. And the salespeople were very busy. Well, when I actually got a dashboard up and ran the numbers backward, I found out that those Facebook ads were yielding a lot of phone calls, but of those people that came from the Facebook ads, absolutely zero sales of homes were happening because it was the wrong target audience. They were getting 20-year-olds in who thought it was fun to go tour luxury homes, but they couldn't afford them. It was idiotic. So we were spending $20,000 a month, not only wasting that $20,000, but then wasting the call center's time trying to set up appointments and wasting the salespeople's time touring 20-year-olds who were never going to buy. So it was costing way more than just the $20,000. I axed the entire program instantly. You need to know your numbers. All right. Once you know your numbers, once you learn, like, let's say you're calling. If you are cold calling, you should have a script and you should have it in front of you. I don't care how good you are or how long you've done it. And every time you call, you should be tweaking that call or that script just a little bit and see, okay, instead of saying hello, I said greetings, or instead of saying how are you doing, I said, hey, I've got a quick idea to run by you. Just one thing. And then once you figure out something that works better consistently, you want to start orchestrating it. And this is the elimination of discretion or choice at the operating level of your business. And that may be your discretion, whether it's what you say in a phone call, how you run a meeting, how you run a listing presentation, how you package your product, or it could be for other people. Implement one change at a time and keep a control group. You need to know what your numbers were like before you implemented this change. And if that change works, make it standard, even if you're the only person using the change. All right, that's it for today. But the book is now going to get really deep into the business development program. So hold on, because these are our next steps. So we are going to look at your primary aim, your strategic objective, your organizational strategy, management strategy, people strategy, marketing, and systems. So this is going to get down to like business plans and really, really deep things that you need to be doing so that your business runs efficiently and so that you can step away from it someday. So ponder and discuss for today. If you're in one of our mastermind groups, take some time to discuss. If you've seen this online, please enter some comments for us. What are my most important metrics? What do I need to measure? And then let's be honest, what are you actually tracking and what do you need to track? Probably you're not tracking everything you need to track. Next, can I implement changes one at a time and measure the results? Can I change my phone calls? Can I take my mailers that I'm sending out and change the headline to see if it captures more people? Be honest, if I find an improvement, do I employ that systematically or is it hit or miss? Oh, I found something that worked on a phone call one time, but do I use it every other phone call or do I forget about it? And then go back to that original question. Am I innovative or am I merely creative? Do I come up with new ideas and then just let them fly by, or do I actually implement them? All right, heroes, thanks so much for joining us. Looking forward to hearing your feedback, and we'll see you next time.